Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. Happy Friday to everyone. It is time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So let me go ahead and start with the end, which, well, actually I take that back, not the end. This was the kind of the middle of my day. So this is the motor for the gorgeous 68 Ghia. Took a quick video of it running earlier and sent it to the owner, and she was very happy. She said the car hadn't ran since, I believe she said the year 2000. So it's been a long time kind of in the making, getting this car back to a running, driving car. But anyway, so today went ahead and had some time to dedicate to that car. So went ahead and took care of all the little odds and ends that still needed taking care of and fired her up. And she started and run really nice. In fact, I'm not going to run it for long because my garage door is closed and I don't really want to die of carbon monoxide poisoning. However, let's do this very briefly. There we go. Purrs like a kitten. Okay, that's enough. You get the idea. I'll probably post a video in short format later of it running. That was the first time that I had it running. But fires right up. Sounds good. Obviously, hasn't been really tuned or anything per se yet, but set the static timing and haven't really touched the carburetor or anything. But yeah, fires right up. Idle's nice. And there you go. So the only thing was I was having a fuel delivery issue with it, and so it took me a while to get it, not started because, obviously, like usually what we do is we just pour gas down the carburetor to prime the carburetor and get it started, and then usually do that a few times, and it'll pull gas up here and into the pump and fill up the float bowl, and before you know it, it'll run. But it kept not doing that, and I could see that no real gas to speak of was being pulled up into here, and so I pulled off the outlet of the fuel pump and turned the motor over, and no real fuel was coming out. I guess and I tried to kind of prime it and stuff, try to prime the fuel pump, and that didn't really help. Sometimes, guys, these fuel pumps need to be primed like on the bench. And so I think that was part of what was going on here. So I went ahead and I pulled the fuel pump and I bench primed it. And then after a few pumps, I was able to get gas flowing into it pretty good. And then, kind of pumping it by hand seemed like it was working well. So I put it back on the car thinking that was it. And it still wouldn't start. And so turns out that the needle and seat valve was stuck, which is a little odd because it's a brand new rebuild kit. So, so I confirmed that's what was going on. So even though the fuel pump was working at that point, it couldn't really pump against a closed valve, obviously. So pulled the top off the carburetor, and sure enough, the float the needle valve was stuck in the closed position, so in the up position. I don't know what's going on there. So I loosened it, and after that, it seemed like it was operating smoothly. So I don't know. It's a brand new rebuild kit, but again, the trouble I've been having with parts lately. So we'll see if it behaves itself, but I may just go ahead and throw a new needle and seat valve in there. I don't know, guys. Parts are just killing me lately. But anyway, once I got those couple fuel things sorted out, boom, fired right up. Ran beautifully and sounds smooth, especially for being, relatively untuned and stuff like that. So pretty big day for the little green Karmann Ghia here. And the motor's probably not going to go into the car for a while. So I will probably go ahead and, obviously disconnect it from the start stand here, pull this off, and then just run the motor until it runs out of gas, and then it'll sit like that until it's ready to go in the car. Anyway, so that was a good thing, pretty big milestone to get checked off on the list, so to speak, for the green car. Okay, so that was the middle of my day. beginning of my day, and somebody asked me about this yesterday, and the reason I didn't talk about it yesterday was because I hadn't done anything with it yet. And I am talking about the speedometer for the 67 Beetle. So if you saw yesterday's episode, you know that I went through like almost all of the other electrical components for that car. And I think even when I was talking about it, the speedometer was like laying here and I hadn't addressed it yet. And I didn't think to show it. I wish I would have showed it because it would have been a good before, because it was pretty crusty, guys, like most everything on that car. So I went ahead and disassembled it, and of course cleaned the glass, cleaned the chrome bezel. The case itself was in nice condition in that it wasn't like beat up or banged up or scratched or anything. However, the zinc or cadmium or whatever plating is on there had a lot of spots, like dark spots on it, and tried to steel wool it clean and get it to look good, but it didn't. So we went ahead and painted it with this paint that we use called dull aluminum that has a really nice finish to it. So painted that, and then again cleaned the lens and everything. Put in new, let's see if I can show these here. Put in new warning lights. Yeah, there you go. You can see there, because those were of course all burnt out looking as they get. So yeah, I just decided to just leave the needle. You know, it's got some character. Normally they would be like very white when the cars were new, but I don't know. I actually kind of like the way they look, the aged look. But everything else, of course, looks amazing. And restored this bulb holder back here and everything. So yeah, should be good to go. I tested it. It did seem to be working. So there you go. Anyway, so that's kind of the last, I guess, major piece, what I would call, of the electrical for the 67 Beetle. The only other major exception, I guess, is the starter, which we'll probably like bench test, and then if it works, we'll go ahead and do restoration on it as well. But there you go. So that was kind of the start of my day, was the finishing up the electronics by doing the speedo for the 67 Beetle, the Java Green Beetle. Okay, so end of my day. This happened. So very late in the day, like at, I don't know, 3 or so, I picked up the powder coating for this guy, for Big Blue, our favorite bay window bus here. And yeah, kind of started assembling it. So we decided to do like a dark gray hammer tone on this one. Not something that we do a lot of in our shop. Normally they all get powder coating, which is like a semi-gloss black, on stock cars and even on hot rods a lot of times. But on this one, for some reason, we decided that let's just go for it and add a little bit more flair to it. Again, this motor, if you're new here, this is a 2161 cc, so 90.5 bore by 84 millimeter stroke. Big round port heads. You know, it's basically a bus motor, so it's made to be more torquey than anything. And it's getting a single, two-barrel, single center-mounted fuel injection throttle body here, and sitting over here approximately getting an air conditioner. So yeah, we decided this motor is very custom, so why don't we go ahead and kind of dress it up a little bit with the powder coating. And so yeah, really happy with how this looks. I actually haven't used this particular finish before. Really happy with it. I think I may start using it on more custom builds, just to let them pop a little bit more. But anyway, yeah, it's going to look good in the blue engine compartment. I think gray and blue, obviously, you can see, just really a great combination. So yeah, pretty much just started fitting everything on this. So the manifolds are on for real with gaskets and everything, not tightened down yet. These tins, the lower tins are on for real. The heater boxes, the muffler, all that's on for real, although not tight yet. And so yeah, it's coming together. So the plan is to build this thing out, and then we'll take it over to AJ Sim's shop, Low Bucket, which is the manufacturer of the fuel injection system, and we'll dyno it and do whatever tuning we can on his crankshaft dyno. And yeah, so that'll be pretty exciting. See what this puppy makes, and again do some initial tweaking of the EFI. Of course, he preloads, if you tell him the motor, the size, you know, a little bit about the cam, the heads and stuff like that. He has a lot of data and a lot of like pre-made maps, so to speak, that are pretty good matches for just about any motor that you could kind of throw the EFI system at. So he has preloaded one that should be really close and probably run pretty darn good out of the box, but then we'll do some tuning on the dyno, and then finally we can do some more tuning in the bus as needed. So, but anyway, guys, yeah, so that was kind of the end of my day here, starting to put this together. You guys know I love putting motors together, so definitely had a good time today playing with all these motors. And well, I love electrical too, so enjoyed restoring this speedometer. So pretty fun day overall here in the shop. Again, was here by myself, at least indoors today. Other guys were outside and in the paint and body booth and stuff, working on other things, which I keep promising I'll show you, but the timing is just never good because they're always out there working. Anyway, so that's it for today, guys. I will be in tomorrow, and I will primarily, if not exclusively, be working on my own cars, probably on my 52 split window Beetle. So tune in tomorrow and see what I do on that. And so that's it for today, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.